Bienvenido al taller de inglés. Este es el primer taller de la semana. Recuerden que vamos a estar teniendo talleres a lo largo de la semana y pueden estar en todos los talleres, no solo en este. Entonces, iniciamos. Primero les voy a dar una pequeña introducción de quiénes somos. Este es más que todo el contenido que vamos a ver el día de hoy. Vamos a saber quiénes somos, por qué elegir BLA, beneficios de estudiar en la academia, diferentes cursos de inglés, estructura de la clase. Nos vamos a enfocar en la estructura de la clase, que va a ser como...
Te tengo una mala noticia. Ah, no, mentira. Te va a hacer... ¿Cuál va a ser? Antes
Mi clase, que es el taller, ¿verdad? Vamos a ver lo que nosotros hacemos. En mute cuando no van a participar para que el sonido no afecte a los demás. Excelente, entonces seguimos. Virtual Learning Academy, nosotros somos una plataforma en línea que logran cumplir sus metas. Todos los profesores son expertos, contamos con varios profesores nativos americanos.
No está aquí en clases, mi papá
también somos partners de Google y poseemos plataforma LMS con máxima seguridad. Su información también es privada. Esto lo voy a pasar rápido, solo es una pequeña introducción para que podamos enfocarnos en la estructura de la clase. ¿Por qué elegir BLA para estudiar inglés? Bueno, tiene flexibilidad de horario, apoyo estudiantil, te permite trabajar, pasar tiempo con tu familia y aprender un nuevo idioma todo al mismo tiempo. Tenemos las clases estructuradas, se estructuran como lo van a poder ver. Primero inician con un warm-up activity, que es una pequeña actividad que vamos a hacer como icebreaker, que es para romper el hielo y cambiar el chip de español a inglés. También después seguimos con gramática y lectura. Todos los días vemos gramáticas, todos los días vemos lecturas, todos los días vemos nuevo vocabulario, todos los días vemos audios, para que puedan desarrollar los 4 skills: reading, listening, también talkative, para que ustedes puedan desarrollar, ¿verdad?, el idioma y puedan conversar con los demás. Ok, material completo y dinámico, es súper participativa la clase y profesores altamente capacitados. Bueno, el nivel de inglés que se determinará por el nivel de inglés que se necesita para un trabajo, obviamente se va a determinar por el tipo de trabajo, pero nosotros ofrecemos 4 niveles. A1, A2, B1, B2, B2 es avanzado, ya se elige un nivel experto, B1 es intermedio, A2 también es considerado como intermedio y A1 es básico. Seguimos. Los beneficios de hablar inglés. Aprender inglés aumenta tus posibilidades de ascender en un trabajo. El mercado laboral actual exige idiomas. El inglés es el idioma oficial en más de 45 países. En Latinoamérica y en toda América, de hecho, es súper importante el inglés. 72% de todo el contenido de la web es inglés y es la lengua principal utilizada en la diplomacia. Nosotros, en los niveles de inglés, consta de 30 sesiones y 8 evaluaciones en esas 30 sesiones. Entonces, tenemos 4 quizzes, 2 presentations, un midterm y un final exam. En total son 8 que nos vamos a enfocar más, que, ¿verdad?, es la estructura de la clase. Vamos a comenzar con nuestra pequeña clase. Les voy a comenzar a hacer preguntas. De todos modos, los que no les gustaría participar, no hay ningún problema, ¿verdad? Va a ser voluntario, pero sí aprovechen para que puedan practicar su inglés y para que puedan ver cuál es nuestra modalidad. Entonces, comenzamos con la práctica. La mejor forma de hablar un idioma es practicando. Entonces, comenzamos con el warm-up activity. Este es un warm-up activity de A1, que es el nivel básico. Ya en el nivel básico, como a la 6, que es present yourself. Entonces, present yourself with the class. You may add a personal experience or talk about your family members. For example, my name is Alicia. I am 23 years old. I live in Nicaragua. I work at Virtual Learning Academy as English coordinator. During the weekend, I like to spend time with my family. I like to go to the beach. I like to spend time with my friends, go to restaurants, watch movies. My favorite color is green. Something that I do not enjoy doing is I do not enjoy doing work and midnight work. I'm not a midnight person. I'd rather go to the beach than stay in the city. My expectations for the class are that everybody participates. Ese es un ejemplo de cómo se puede presentar, cómo se pueden presentar ustedes. Entonces ahora quiero un voluntario a quien le gustaría participar, que me pueda decir cuál es su nombre, su edad, a dónde vive, dónde trabaja, cuáles son sus hobbies, qué hace durante el fin de semana, cuál es su color favorito, algo que le gusta hacer, algo que le gusta hacer más que otras cosas y cuáles son sus expectations para esta clase, sus expectativas, ¿verdad? ¿Alguien quiere participar? Aprovechen, aprovechen para participar.
Hi class, my name is Oscar. Can I participate or can I hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Oscar. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. My name is Oscar. I live in Sabanilla. I am 36 years old. I work at IT support. My hobby are go to the beach and stay in my home. During the weekend, I like to the gym and cooking. I don't remember. My favorite color is are blue, white, and red. And I rather I don't remember what rather, but okay.
Rather is when you prefer doing something than another thing. I'd rather go to the beach than go to the city, for example. Something that you prefer to do.
Okay.
Out of two options.
Two options. I rather stay at home that go to shopping. My expectation for that class are I speak English and understand fluid.
Perfect. Excellent. Thank you, Oscar, for sharing. Somebody else that wants to participate? Oscar was the first brave one. We have Maureen, Melissa, Lily, Jose, Georgelis. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, well, my name is Tanya. I am 45 years old. I live in San Jose. I work at IT company as a purchase coordinator. My hobbies are to read, to go to the beach, to travel, to eat, something like that. During the weekend, I like to go to visit my family, to go to the beach, to read, to go with my friends. My favorite color is yellow. Something that I do not enjoy doing is maybe cooking. I'd rather read than watch TV. Honestly, I don't have any expectation for the class. Only I am curious about this class, and thanks for your time.
Thank you very much for sharing. Excellent. And I don't like cooking too.
Yes.
I don't like. Sometimes I just cook eggs. I think that I need to learn more. That's why I don't like. But yeah, that was a good one. Okay, and your expectations for the class, so you're curious, that's excellent too. Remember that this is the moment to ask questions and participate. One last person that would like to participate. One more.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Hello, yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thanks. My name is Ronald Ortiz. I live in Costa Rica. I 50-year-old. I am engineer in science computer. I work. I am the head of technology in Junta Protección Social. This is the company that sells lottery in Costa Rica. And my favorite color is the blue. And my hobbies are play soccer with my son. I try to do every weekend, but another weekend I have to work, and in order to supervise the different different games that the Junta saves in Costa Rica, and I living in Costa Rica, but specifically specify in Cartago. I don't know if you know, but
I've never been there, but I would love to.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you very much for sharing.
And I don't know, and Cartago is a very special place. So it's some cold, and I lived there from 10 years ago. I don't know. And my favorite soccer, team soccer is Aprisa in Costa Rica. I don't know.
What are your expectations? What are your expectations for the class?
My expectations is to try to better my English.
To improve your English? Very
yes,
good.
Because it's very difficult to practice. The practice only in these forums is possible, and it's no many people talk English, or the mostly people feel uncomfortable to speak English.
True, they are shy or they think they are ashamed of speaking English.
Yeah.
That's a good thing what you said. You have an advantage. When you learn English, you have an advantage over other people because most of the people do not know English in your field. So if you learn English, you'll have an advantage over them. So practicing your English.
Okay.
Really, really good. Perfect. So we're going to give the opportunity to participate. So don't worry, the people that haven't participated. So I will go to reading. This is one of my favorite parts. So reading comprehension, just a brief, really small version of the actual class. Hello?
Excuse me, I lost the communication. I don't know what happened.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now yes.
Okay, excellent. I was saying that now we're going to reading, and most of the time it's something like this, but this is a short version of the reading because it's a short class. So I'm gonna ask somebody to read the first paragraph and then another person to read paragraph number 2. After the reading, we're gonna discuss what's the reading about, and then we're gonna have vocabulary words. Every day you're gonna practice vocabulary words. If it's not in reading, you can ask your teacher for words that you do not understand to clarify them and learn new vocabulary words every session. So let's start. Can somebody read the first Sentence, street style. This one that it's in pink. Who wants to read?
It says, I'll do it.
Perfect.
So it says, this week we went to the South Moulton Street to find out what young people are wearing when they go shopping.
Excellent. Really good pronunciation. So who wants to read number 2, paragraph number 2?
Mina is from London. She's a student at the London College Fashion. I am wearing a pair of jeans from Tico. It's a Japanese shop here in London.
Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I was saying, do you think she has summer clothes or winter clothes? What do you think?
Door closed.
She's wearing winter clothes for cold weather with a jacket and a hot shirt. Okay? Okay, guys, we're gonna move on to the next slide so you can see the vocabulary words. It says wear, shopping, and jumper. Emily, can you read what is wear, please? The definition. In order to participate, guys, you can click on the sound button. Like a microphone. Okay, if you want to participate, you just click in there. So who can read the definition of wear?
Wear. Put clothing on one's body.
Excellent. And we have a sentence, I'm wearing a nice dress. So right now we see wearing with ing will be the participle. And now who wants to read the definition of shopping? Who can read me that?
Searching for or buying goods or services.
Perfect. And the last one, the definition of jumper.
A sleeved dress.
Resembling an apron worn over other clothing. And it says we are wearing same jumpers. We have a picture here. Perfect. Do you have, guys, any other new vocabulary words from this paragraphs? Any word that you don't know the meaning that you would like to clarify? Or everything is clear? Okay, if everything is clear, we can move on to the next vocabulary word. And that's fine, guys. Remember that if you have questions, just ask. It doesn't matter which question it is, okay? Okay, do you have any other questions on this? We're here, jacket. Okay, let's read it out. A jacket, most of you, if not all of you, knows what it is because you wear jackets. And it's really common to say jacket, chaqueta. I say jacket in Spanish too, but I think that that's not common in all the countries. So it's a short coat, right? Un suéter corto, a bag. Can somebody read the definition of bag? Who wants to participate and read the definition of bag?
A flexible container with a single opening.
Perfect. And the last one, presents. Present without the S, it's one of the 3 times present, past, future, right? But presents with an S at the end is something presented as a gift. For example, when you go to a birthday party, you go with a present or presents, okay? For example, I love Christmas presents, los regalos. right? And now let's move on to grammar. Today we're going to study something simple. It will be present simple and present progressive. This will be the normal class. Right now, as we're just seeing a review, a short review, we're only going to focus on present simple. Present simple, we have some examples here. So the most important thing that I want to leave clear is that when it's he, she eats, you always add an es or an s. One of the rules is, for example, this one, when you have study and it ends with a y, you change the y for an I, and it's studies. Change the y for an I and add es. These are some examples, but after this, after reading this and analyzing this, we're gonna check out the rules. When you add es, when you only add the s, when you change the y for the I, all the rules that has to do with simple present. And you need to be clear that for plural subjects as I, you, we, they, I being the exception, you do not add an s in the verb. But for he, she, eat, that is the singular tense, you add s. It's a little bit controversial because in Spanish, we add s to plurals. But in English, it's the opposite thing. We add s to verbs in singular, right? And it's super important because we can differentiate when we're talking in singular and when we're talking in plural. The only exception here is the I and sometimes the you, because you can say you, como vos, tú, or you, ustedes, vosotros. Okay, that's the only two exceptions in this rule. Plurals do not have s, singulars have s, except for I and you. Questions here or everything clear?
Clear.
Perfect. So we're gonna read some examples. For work, works. Take, takes. We're just adding s. Study, studies. We're changing the y for the I and adding es. Teach, teaches. We're not only adding an s, we're adding an es. Do, does. The same thing. Have, has. What happens here? This is an irregular verb. Irregular verbs do not only add an s, but also make changes in the word. Go, goes. Those are some examples. Now, who wants to read me the examples in a sentence? All of these that are in the box. Any brave volunteer?
Okay. I work as a waiter. She takes people on tours. He studies politician science.
Political?
Can you repeat, please?
Political.
Political
Perfect.
science.
Mm-hmm.
I teach French. They go shopping together.
Shopping.
Shopping together.
Perfect.
You have a part-time job. She goes to the beach.
Perfect. Excellent. So as we can see, we start with the personal pronoun. What happens here is that you can change the personal pronoun for a noun, nombre, right? Alicia, Juanito, Panchito, Oscar, Fernando, Flavia, Camila. It could be a noun or a pronoun. That doesn't matter in the structure. Plus a base form verb. A base form verb are the verbs in present. Plus the complement. The complement is the object of the sentence. What is complementing the idea? I work. Yeah, but I work what? So you need a complement to complete the idea. I work as a waiter. So in a simple present sentence, you have 3 elements in the structure. Element number 1, noun or pronoun, that you can also say it as a subject, el sujeto de la oración. Noun or pronoun. Base form of the verb, in other words, the present tense of the verb, and the complement. that it's to complete the idea of your sentence. Okay, only 3 elements. She takes people on tours. She is singular, it's a pronoun that we can substitute by Camila, for example. Camila takes people on tours. He studies political science. We can also say Marco studies political science. That doesn't matter. But the structure will always be the same. Now, let's talk about the rules. Rules to add s or es to verbs in third person of singular third. Hello, guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something about my country. I don't know yours. For some reason, there's a company that put 2 different modems at my house. I'm not gonna tell the company, but I'm connecting to the 2 different modems, and I have an extra modem and I have a router. So it's not the company, it's because it's a really windy day. So for some reason, I apologize.
Where
Of
are
course,
you?
I apologize. I'm in Nicaragua right now, in Managua. So it's super, super windy where I live, but today, rarely today. So I apologize for that. It's never, never like this. Okay, so let's continue with the class. Where were we with the rules? Okay, this is the part that you need to pay most attention. When the word ends with S, for example, dress, you need to add ES, dresses, press, presses, okay? Rule number 1, when the word ends with S, add ES for singular, he, she, it on the verbs, always. And guys, when we're learning a new language, that happened to me too when I was learning English when I was young. Well, I'm still young, obviously, but when I was a baby, you need to think, mindfulness, think on what you're saying. It's with practice that you will start talking a language without thinking. But when you're learning a language, you need to think before speaking. So I'm gonna say dress, but I'm gonna say he dress. But now I know that if I'm using he and a verb that ends with s, I need to add es. So it's not dress, it's dresses. So you need to learn the rules and think before talking. You need to practice and practice and practice. And once you're practicing and practicing and practicing, you won't need to think before talking. You will just normally speak without thinking on the theory of the rules, right? So learn the rules of everything that has to do with the language that you want to learn, if it's English, if it's Portuguese, any language, and then practice the rule, speak slowly. Doesn't matter that you're speaking slowly, that's the process of learning. When the word ends with consonant, Y, you need to replace Y with I and add ES. This is the example that we were seeing before. Study, studies, okay? There are some exceptions to this rule. When? I want to give you this example. Okay, I'm gonna say this in Spanish because it's extremely, extremely important. La consonante hay que diferenciarla de las vocales. Porque hay estudiantes que me preguntan qué pasa con play. ¿Por qué play es place y no playes, for example? Porque play, it's written P-L-A-Y. The A is a vowel, not a consonant, right? So that means that you do not need to change the Y for an I, and you do not need to add ES, just S. So when it's vowel Y, you just add an S. But when you have, for example, study, that it's a consonant Y, then you need to change the Y for an I and add ES. Be careful with that. Be careful and differentiate the vowel with the consonant, always. Okay, rule number 3. When the word ends with sh or sh, lashes, watches, teaches, add S. ES, the sound S, right? So for example, lash, you add ES, and the pronunciation will always be S. Lashes, watches, teaches. It's not teach, watch, lash, right? So you need to pronounce it like it is. S, and the S. Okay? And the last one, last but not least, when the word ends with X, you add ES. Fix, fixes. Okay? Hope you wrote this down. It's extremely important when you're learning a language to learn the rules first, to talk, thinking on the rules, and then practice, practice, practice. So you don't need to think on the rules every single time that you speak, right? Okay, in this I want to stop. Does anybody has any question on this? Questions, comments? Is this an easy topic for you, or did you find it helpful? What do you think?
Until here,
I want your
it's
opinion.
okay.
Okay, very good. Thank you for sharing. Who else? Clear everything?
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm glad to hear that, guys. And the last part of the session, of a normal session, will be listening. But because this is a short session, we omit listening because I want to talk to you about something else. Pronunciation. So let's do a recap. On the session, 2 hours of class, we start with the warm-up, then with the class activity, then we always do reading, then grammar, then listening, and at the end, we have some pronunciation. Pronunciation, it's not the most important thing when you're learning a language, but it can help you a lot. You're confident, for your confidence, to communicate better with Native Americans or with English people, but specifically you're confident. Okay, when you are in a class or when you're talking with somebody that speaks English, your brain thinks that you're not going to do a good work and it blocks you. Even though you know the word, even though you understand what the other people said, you block yourself just because you don't have enough confidence to speak a new language, not in your native language. So pronunciation can help you grow your confidence, make you feel better about how you speak the language. That's why we also have pronunciation in this session. Okay, and it's important for us at Virtual Learning Academy that you have a good pronunciation. Every time that you pronounce something wrong, your teacher will let you know the mistake and will help you pronounce it correctly. Every time that you read something wrongly or you don't understand a pronunciation, your teacher will help you. That's what we're here for. Okay, so let me show you the pronunciation of ED. This, guys, I chose this topic of pronunciation because it's the pronunciation that most of the people do wrong. And even people that have been speaking English for years and years and years, they always tend to make mistakes with this. So today you'll learn how to pronounce the regular past tense. Okay, so let's start. We have 3 different pronunciations for the regular past tense. Id, t, and d. Different, sounds different, but the only thing, the tricky part, is that they are written the same. The 3 of them are written ED. Okay, that's the tricky part. That's why you need to pay attention. Part number 1, id. When the words end with t or d, you pronounce the ed as id. For example, wanted, needed, okay? When the verb ends with td, you pronounce id. When the words finish in a voiceless letter, you pronounce it t. For example, helped, looked, sniffed, laughed, washed, watched, kissed, danced, fixed. All the words that end with the voiceless letter, you pronounce it t. All of them. Now, how will you know that it's a voiceless letter or if it's a voiced letter? Simple, you touch your throat. Here, I'm gonna show you. Everybody, I want you to try this at home. Try it with me. Put your fingers in your throat, just like me here. And I want you to pronounce the last word, the last letter, I'm sorry. For example, P. What's the sound of the P? So you can see when you're touching here, it does not vibrate. It does not emit any vibration. Voiceless, no vibrations. That's when you know that the sound of the ed will be t. What happened with the voiced letters? L, when you do L, you feel vibrations in your throat. N, r, g, g, g. You feel vibrations. That means that you will pronounce the ed as d. Cold, cleaned, offered, damaged, loved, amazed, robbed, claimed. When you're reading, for example, when you're in a class, it's okay to touch your throat and make noises. Nobody will make fun of you. Nobody. So don't be shy. It's okay, you're learning. Everybody's learning. So if you need to touch your throat to know the pronunciation of the word, do it. Do it. When you're reading at home, when you're practicing the lesson, touch your throat if you don't know how to pronounce it. It's better to practice, to touch your throat, to practice, touch your throat, practice, touch your throat, to learn the pronunciation than to pronounce it wrongly. Okay? So now I want volunteers to read me words. Now, the words, you know now the correct pronunciation, id, d. Okay? So who wants to read me the list for voiceless sounds? Who wants to be the volunteer for the voiceless? You don't need to touch your throat right now if you don't want to. You can do that.
Try.
Okay, perfect, Oscar.
Helped, looked. How you pronounce sniffed?
Perfect.
Loved, watched, washed, kissed, danced, fixed.
Perfect. Excellent. That's the correct pronunciation. Now, who wants to read the pronunciation of voiced words? Somebody else? Right now is your opportunity to practice, guys.
Call it, clean it, offer it, damage, love it, use it, amaze it, prove it, climb it.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, I'll read it one more time. Remember that when you have voiced sound, the ed, the sound ed, is not ed, it's d. Cold. Instead of reading that e, you omit the e. You erase it. You cross it. You ignore it. Cleaned, offered, damaged, loved, used, amazed, robbed, claimed. When you have voiced, you omit the e. You ignore the e. When you have voiceless, the ed sounds like t. And when the words end with t and d, you pronounce it id. Wanted, needed. Now that you know this, guys, when you're reading, when you're practicing your lesson, when you're studying English, when you're talking with your friends, think about this. So you can practice pronunciation and gain confidence in your pronunciation based on the past tense, regular past tense. So those are some tips. I hope that you enjoyed the lesson, that you learned something from this. And remember that we have classes, English classes, to practice. Let's say that you already know English, fine. You can practice with us. Let's say that you're starting to learn English, excellent. We can show you from the basics. Let's say that you have an intermediate level, we can help you get to an advanced level. But the good thing is that you have always the support of your teachers, always the support of your classmates. The classes are recorded. You can practice the material of the class whenever you want, wherever you want, and you can also manage your time. That for me is the most valuable thing, that I can manage the time that I want to study. I just go to my classroom, to the platform, and get the material. And remember that if you would like to know more about us, more about Virtual Learning Academy, more about the courses that we will have this type of sessions the whole week of different topics. Today was English. So if you have questions, now is the time. Okay, it was a pleasure for me to be with you today, guys. And also, if you want to do the exam to see what's your English level, it's totally free. You don't need to pay anything. And if you want to know more information, also you can contact Wendy. That right now she's posting a website that you can enter a link.
Thank you.
Excuse me, I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, how's the process how's the inscription process?
The process to enter.
Or every class is free every week or at 10 hours?
We have sessions at the beginning of each semester, we can say, or academic cycle that are for free, the sessions, for example, this one. But we have regular classes, it could be 2 days per week, regular classes that you just pay for the class, but you can do the exam for free to know your English level. So you do your English level, you know if you're A1, A2, B1, B2, that means basic, intermediate, or advanced. And based on that, you start your regular classes. It's like a normal class, but it's online. So you have 2 days a week for 4 hours a week, 2 hours per day. And also you have your material uploaded to the platform. That has a specific cost. If you would like to know more information about the prices too, you can click on the links that are on the chat box, and you can be in contact with one of our salesmen.
Okay.
Yes, we do give free sessions like this ones every once in a while, so you can learn more from us, more of our sessions. And if you like our sessions, how we give the sessions and want to learn English, you can join one of our courses.
Okay, when can I do the exam of identify the level, the English level?
You can do it right away. If you will, also, right now you have the links, and you can get in contact with the persons in charge, and they can send you the link for the exam. When you do the exam, you will know your English level.
Okay. Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, sure, maybe tomorrow. So don't forget to click on the link or give your information so we can contact you in the chat group. Leave your information so we can contact you, okay? And you can do your exam.
Perfect.
Hola chicos,
Thank you.
Tal vez ahí para ampliar un poco, está Joseph Cruz, también está Wendy. Esta partecita ya la voy a decir en español para que todos les quede bien claro. Si tienen alguna duda en específico, pueden contactarnos. Los exámenes de ubicación, como les hemos venido diciendo, no tienen ningún costo, ¿verdad? La información que ustedes llenan en el link que está ahí en el chat, ¿verdad? Es para que un asesor educativo se comunique con ustedes les hagan las preguntas, les hagan el examen y luego les digan el nivel en el que están. Este examen no tiene ningún costo. Tal como decía Alicia, nosotros hacemos sesiones como estos talleres por lo menos cada mes y medio por ahí, en donde seleccionamos un tema y lo abrimos abierto al público como este para que todos puedan participar. Pero también tenemos cursos regulares. Abrimos matrículas cada 2 meses y tenemos diferentes niveles según pues el nivel en el que cada uno esté, ¿verdad? Entonces, a nosotros nos gusta asesorarlos, por eso pueden ponerse en contacto con nosotros y un asesor educativo ya les escribe, los llama, les pregunta sus necesidades, porque cada caso pues es diferente y cada nivel también. Entonces, esto es para poder darles una atención un poco más personalizada. Igual, si tienen dudas generales, como les digo, aquí estamos para atenderlos y para que igual síganos en redes sociales. Nosotros tenemos todos los martes un sketch, por así decirlo, que se llama Talking Tuesdays, que es donde Alicia y los demás profesores de idiomas, porque también damos portugués, les damos tips, aprenden cosas diferentes, palabras nuevas. Eso también pues lo hacemos los días martes, por si quieren pues estar pendientes de las redes sociales. Y tenemos un canal de YouTube donde también tenemos varias clases que pues Alicia ha impartido y otros profesores. Ya si desean cursos más regulares, con su profesor y todo, pues ULA da clases 100% en vivo por internet. Las clases igual quedan grabadas, tienen acceso a tutorías 1 a 1 con sus profesores. En fin, tenemos un programa bastante completo de inglés para que cada quien pueda pues aprender.
Thank you. Hasta luego.
Gracias, Vero. Chicos, vea, muchas gracias por participar en el taller. Espero que lo hayan disfrutado y lo hayan aprovechado. Alicia, muchas gracias, es una excelente profesora. Sin duda que nos sentimos contentos de ver tanta cantidad de personas y sobre todo queriendo aprender lo que es inglés. Entonces, muy sencillo, ustedes tienen que preguntarse, ¿qué quiero hacer este año? ¿Quiero aprender inglés? Ok, bueno, esta es su oportunidad. ¿Por qué? Porque puede estudiar desde su casa, así como estuvo en ese taller, usted se conecta y recibe la clase con un grupito más pequeño. Ahorita habíamos hasta 50 en algunos momentos, ¿verdad? Ya las clases van a ser con grupos pequeñitos, 10 personas, 8, es algo más personalizado, ¿verdad? No solo van a tener las clases, van a tener un grupo de WhatsApp donde se va a compartir material, van a estar participando constantemente, grabaciones de cada clase. Si usted se perdió, por ejemplo, el taller, esto lo vamos a subir a nuestras redes sociales para que lo puedan repasar, lo puedan ver otras personas, pero ya usted matriculado en las clases va a tener acceso privado a cada una de las grabaciones de las clases que se dan en vivo, por si algún día no se puede conectar, por si quiere repasar. También van a tener derecho a lo que son tutorías gratuitas. Entonces, es un conjunto de herramientas muy completo para ayudarles a dominar el inglés. Al inicio yo les estuve preguntando que cuánto inglés había más o menos, por ahí andaban unos con 1, un 3, algunos un 5, y es que todos andamos por ahí que sabemos algo, pero que no sabemos nada. A nivel laboral no nos funciona. Entonces, les animo a que si quieren matricular el programa, tenemos grupos en las mañanas, tenemos grupos en las noches, tenemos facilidades con lo que son el financiamiento, ¿verdad? Que nada de eso sea una preocupación, sino usted enfóquese en la meta. Si usted quiere aprender este año, a partir de hoy que inician los grupos, la otra semana que iniciamos clases, son 12 meses y en 12 meses ULA se compromete a llevarlos de ese nivel que tienen allá a un nivel bastante avanzado en lo que es el idioma, ¿verdad? Un curso con preparación laboral, con un enfoque laboral. Llenen el formulario que está por ahí y escriban, mira, quiero hacer el examen de ubicación porque yo sé que sé, pero no sé cuánto sé. Bueno, haga el examen, es gratuito, nosotros les vamos a ayudar. Si tienen alguna pregunta o alguna duda, llenen el formulario, un asesor se va a poner en contacto, les vamos a dar los precios, les vamos a dar los horarios, las opciones de financiamiento que hay también, por supuesto, convenios con empresas que tenemos, como Convergys, Concentrix, Teleperformance, Fujitsu, HP, HPE, DXC, IBM, bueno, en fin, es un conjunto de empresas con las que manejamos también bolsa de empleo. Entonces es una excelente oportunidad. Imagínense usted desde la casa, estudia, va y se trae la comida en ese momento, no hay ningún problema, hay breaks, puede silenciar, ir a hacer cualquier cuestión que tenga que hacer y regresar a la clase, quedan grabadas, hay tutorías. Entonces, el único no lo va a poner usted. nosotros tenemos todas las herramientas a su disposición para que usted este año, este 2020, lo pueda lograr. Aprender inglés. Les invitamos también a los siguientes talleres que vamos a tener a partir de mañana, martes, jueves y viernes. Van a haber diferentes talleres. Igual les vamos a estar enviando enlaces. Si tienen alguna pregunta, pueden habilitarse el micrófono y con todo gusto les vamos a estar resolviendo sus dudas.
Buenas noches.
Eso, Fernanda. Fernanda, ¿verdad?
Fernando.
Sí,
Fernando.
Bueno, yo
bueno.
también me llamo Fernanda.
Perdón, primero las damas.
Buenas noches. ¿Sería la misma hora el taller, la clase?
Sí, toda esta semana van a estar de 7 a 9 los talleres, lo que son clases de idiomas de 7 a 9 de la noche. Y los grupos en la mañana de 8 a 10 de la mañana para quienes tienen horario de trabajo en la tarde-noche. Ahí tienen esas dos opciones.
Ya, ok, gracias.
Claro, con gusto.
Buenas noches.
Eso, Fernando, ahora sí.
Todo bien, sí, gracias. ¿Cuál es el costo del curso, Joseph?
Hay distintas opciones para lo que es el programa. Tenemos, por ejemplo, para comentarte un poquito por módulo, opciones que van desde los $21, $41, hasta los $100, depende del financiamiento que elijan. Un asesor, pueden llenar el formulario y un asesor, bueno, les va a llamar y pues, vamos a ver sus circunstancias para buscar ahí la cuota que más acomode a las necesidades. Generalmente los financiamientos son sin intereses. También depende un poquito de la duración, de cuánto inglés tengan. Ahí hacemos el examen de ubicación para ver más o menos cómo están.
Excelente, muchas gracias.
Claro, con gusto. Estamos, chicos, espero que hayan disfrutado entonces el programa. Si quieren repasarlo, quieren compartirlo con alguna otra persona, pueden buscarlo en nuestro canal de YouTube. Por aquí les voy a dejar lo que sería el enlace. Ahí van a encontrar los talleres de esta semana, conforme se vayan haciendo. Ahí los vamos a habilitar. Algunos talleres que hemos tenido el año pasado también, que son gratuitos. Es información bastante valiosa.
Buenas noches.
Buenas.
¿Dónde yo puedo acceder para ver la presentación que nos dio la profesora?
Vamos a ver, cuando se suba este taller al canal de YouTube, ahí vas a encontrar un enlace para que lo puedan descargar parte del material.
¿Y cómo busco yo en YouTube para poder acceder a la academia?
Ajá, ahí tienes el canal, ahí lo acabo de poner en el chat, es /VL Academy.
Bueno, está bien, muchas gracias.
Claro, con gusto.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches, ahí está el canal, hay algunos otros talleres que se han dado en lo que son idiomas. Y recuerden, los horarios para lo que es inglés, vamos a tener lunes, miércoles de 7 a 9, martes y jueves de 7 a 9, y los mismos días, pero en las mañanas, de 8 a 10, lunes, miércoles o martes y jueves. Ahí para que puedan aprovechar. Listo, chicos, síganos en Facebook, Instagram, ahí hacemos diferentes promociones, promocionamos los talleres, algunas becas, sorteos que se hacen a lo largo del año. Entonces, muchas gracias por participar. Si tienen alguna duda, les vamos a dejar el chat de ahí abierto. Ahí pueden hacer sus preguntas. Wendy o un servidor vamos a estar ahí respondiéndoles. Buenas noches y esperamos que nos veamos mañana en el taller que tendremos. Hasta luego.